Hey everybody, Bobby here with the Hitting Boot Camp, and I have a little story to tell you. There was a 9-year-old boy who wanted to be the best player he could be, and he worked real hard. And it came time for All-Stars, and they picked All-Stars, and he wasn't selected. And it bothered him, and he decided that he was going to do everything he could to become a better player, and especially a better hitter. So he sought out people he knew were good hitters, older fellas, and he talked to them. He also saw where there was an opportunity for you to go to a baseball camp where there'd be professional players that could explain the finer things of hitting. So he went down to that camp and was able to work with some professional players. Came back and was fortunate enough to save enough of his money from cutting grass and working in order to buy a batting cage. And this young guy put a batting cage up in his backyard, and from the age of about 13 on till he was into college, he hit in his backyard, and he would hit every day, and he would hit using different styles. And he would watch the guys on TV and hit with the style of one of his favorite players for a week or two. Found out what that caused and how that affected his swing. The funny thing he found out was not everything improved him. There were some things that he would do, and he would do these swings for a week. And some things he did, his swing didn't improve, and it actually maybe went backwards a little bit. But he knew, he found out what caused different things in the swing to happen. When he did a certain thing, the ball would do a certain thing. So he learned how really how the swing worked. And he was able to work his way through, play high school, play college baseball. And then he began to work with older players and or coach older players. And he was when he was in high school, he was working with his own age group. His peers, he was a pretty good hitter, and his peers would come up to him and ask him what their swing looked like, and what, the guys that he went and talked to, what would they say about my swing. So he began instructing and teaching players when he was still in high school himself. And that became a passion of his, working with players and improving them. The knowledge that he learned from other players was really able to benefit a lot of people, including himself. And he found different ways, and when a player was doing something in their swing, he kind of learned the corrections that it would cause. And it began a lifelong passion with hitting, and that's continued to this day. And that player is me. And I was able to learn from a lot of good teachers along the way and good coaches along the way, and also really just break down the swing myself and have enough patience. I was very fortunate and glad that I did have enough patience to continue to work with it. And I was able to find out the cause and effect of a lot of things. Some things worked well for me and other things didn't. But when I saw a player, having trouble getting to a ball, I kind of knew where to go in the swing to make the correction. And really, I'm more of a guide and explaining the process that hitting is, how we go about it, and also how to learn. By working with players, thousands of players over the years, I've been able to realize that each player is different. And, we're trying to find a piece of treasure on a treasure map. And most people don't even know what the treasure looks like. They think it's hitting success, getting a bunch of hits. But that's not really the success and the treasure. The treasure is having a good swing. And when you have a good swing and a good approach, then you're going to get hits. You can accidentally get hits, but not have a swing where you want it to be. But when you develop a good swing, an understanding of the mechanics of hitting, the concept of how the pitcher's going to approach you, developing good vision technique and good vision habits, and managing the strike zone, managing the count, developing strength and bat speed and quickness. You put all those together, and then you become a hitter. So most people really don't know where the treasure is on the map, and they think they might. And there's some obstacles in the way, which there always will be. One can be a mountain. One can be a swamp. One can be a river. One can be a lake. And to try to get to the treasure, and you have to recognize that each player has a strength. And if you try to take a mountain climber and run him through the swamp, then he's not going to really have a lot of success. And if you take somebody who's a good swimmer and you try to put them on top and have them climb the mountain, then they're not going to have a lot of success. So what I've been able to do is be able to break down players, look at them, kind of figure out their strengths, and figure out the best way to get them to the treasure. We're all going for the same treasure, but we're having to go about it in different ways. You can take all your players and try to run them up a mountain, but only a few will be mountain climbing type players. The rest will struggle and won't have the success. So that is the benefit of being around a long time and being working with a lot of players. Is I realize that where the treasure is to begin with, and what it looks like, and what is genuine treasure, and how to get there with different styles of players. We're able to take a mountain climber, recognize he's a mountain climber, and take him that route. Find a swimmer, so to say, a swimmer, and put him in the lake and let him swim to the treasure. There's some guys that can trudge through the swamp, and we take those and we come about it that way. So we take each player and identify them, and we work with you and try to identify your player. What is the best way to get them to the treasure? The treasure being balance, bat speed, power, contact point, good vision, good decision-making ability in the box. And we can get to those spots if we know how to approach it. So I hope that you will look into our hitting boot camp. The boot camp does that. We will explain things many different ways, and also we will work with people to help you identify what kind of player you are and what approach that you need to take. We all are not the same. Players cannot just look like each other. All players have to find their way to the treasure. And you also have to know where the treasure is. So we identify those two things, and you'll be amazed at the success you will have as you go throughout your journey of searching for your treasure, which is a good swing and success in the batter's box. Take care, everybody.